Rebel salutes, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies and comrades. I hope you're doing well. This is Kenyan Revolutionary again for another day, for another session. Today, I'll be brief, very brief. I don't think if I'll go an hour, unless something happens, somebody joins or something happens, I'll be very brief. As you know, today was Kiptum's funeral. And, for those of those who watch it, there was nothing much. It was the usual eulogizing about his life and his accomplishments and how he made Kenya proud. So rest in peace, Kiptum, for making Kenya proud. I didn't know you personally, but we'll equally thank you for your contribution to the country. Okay. So today, I just want to name the names of the politicians who failed us, who failed to show up during the affordable housing bill that passed. Okay, we saw the Azimio folks come out and make a press conference walking out, and they gave their reasons why they were walking out. But the question that I want to ask a lot of people today is that, don't you find it funny that every time there's a bill that is very, very, very important? Of course, every bill is important, but some of them are more controversial than others. The ones that we usually suspect come from the IMF, the ones that are forced on Ruto to shove it through the legislative body as quick as possible. Okay? It usually happens that when it's time to vote for a controversial bill that's not popular with the people, for some reason, some members, mostly members of the opposition, they usually tend not to vote by just absconding from showing up, like absconding from their duties by not showing up at the legislative body. And then the ruling party, majority, who are also the governing party as far as the executive, they usually show up overwhelmingly, okay? Don't you think this is done by a design, okay? Because these Azimio folks, yes, they came out and explained to us that, they worked out because A, B, C, and D. But that did not deter them from voting. Don't you think it's unusual? And the same thing happened. Yes, the last time they did not walk out, but most of them did not show up. Today, I want us to explore, because this is the most disrespectful thing a member of parliament can do. If we voted a member of parliament to go to the legislative body to advance our interest, first of all, before they even vote for the bill, they should come and consult the people at the constituency. Okay? What is it called? Public participation. Okay? Check with your constituency and see if they want this housing bill. If they want it, well and good. If they don't want it, well and good. Go reflect that voice at the legislative body by voting accordingly. Okay? So for someone to fail to show up to do their primary duty at the legislative level, that is impeachable. And we should recall these people. Let us look at the law that actually deals with recalling these MPs. We shall look at the laws that deals with that, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, because this is unacceptable, totally unacceptable. We should not let this. No. Before I go on, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe and like the video. We are live. Like the video right now as I'm talking to you. Like it. If you see my face here, like it immediately. Okay? I won't talk about the Kenya being put on the gray list. I'll talk about that some other time, not today. But ladies and gentlemen, before I get started, get to the like button, okay? And share it and subscribe if you haven't subscribed, if you're wondering who I am, okay? Okay? Let's see. Elections Act of Kenya, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and comrades, like the video, share, comment. And if you want to get in, there's the link. If you're on X, you're wondering where's the link, here's the link. I'm highlighting it. Just go to my YouTube, type my name on YouTube, Kenya Revolutionary, and you'll see the link on the chat, and you can get in the studio and tell us, you can join the discussion. It's free, fair, verifiable. Okay. I will name the names of these nincompoops, these traitors, these people who we voted to go vote accordingly, and they decided to betray our trust. We donated our sovereign authority for them to go up there and vote accordingly, but they fail us. So let's name the names, okay? Are we ready to name the names? Please take a pen and pencil. I'm giving you 2 minutes to do that, so we can name these MPs, these legislative members of the legislative body in Kenya that let us down. We shall name all of them, okay? I think there's 149 of them. I'll make it brief. I'm not here too long. It's Friday, Furahi Day. I have things to do, but we shall talk about this before I go on. Let's name them, okay? Are we ready? Okay. I'm ready. I don't know about you. Are we ready? All right. Like the video, and share. Okay. Members of parliament that were actually absent yesterday. And I'll name their parties too. Are you ready? Number 1, Koech Victor Kipngetich. Koech Victor Kipngetich of the CCM party, whatever that party is. Barasa Patrick Simiu of DAPK, okay, I don't know what that party is. These are the members of parliament, legislative body who've decided not to show up. I'll go quickly. I first started with Koech Victor Kipngetich of CCM, Baraza Patrick Simiu of DAP Kenya, Twiga Patrick Munene of UDA, Farah Malim, shame on you. I see you every day on KTN, Citizen TV, arguing every day in these talk shows, morning talk shows. But when it comes to representing your constituency, you don't show up. Shame on you, Farah Malim. Okay? Of WDDM party. Elachi Beatrice Kideveresia. Elachi Beatrix. Another one that usually goes to these morning talk shows. Okay? But when it comes to voting for vital bills, they don't show up. Waweru John Kiari. Isn't that UDA? Isn't that the boy who was in Ridiculous of Dagoretti? Isn't that him? John Kiari Waweru? Shame on you. You need to be impeached immediately. Ongili Babu Owino. Babu Owino. Ongili. Babu Owino, you didn't show up. I thought Babu Owino would have known better. Yeah. Babu Ongili Owino ODM. And I saw you on press conference. Sijui nini Babu Owino. Babu Owino, this is inexcusable. Ongili Babu Owino Paul ODM missed the vote. MP of Embakasi East, and I saw you on the press conference. Babu Owino, we need to talk. I'll come to you. Gakuyu James Mwangi, UDA. Omboko Milema Jeremiah, ANC. Yakulo Farah Sela did not show up, absent. Hiribae Said Buya, ODM, another one, and you'll see them in the press conference. Useless kabisa. Tungule Charo Kenneth Kazungu, PAA. Siad Amina Udgun, JP. Guyo Ali Wario, ODM. Anybody from ODM or Azimio, if you are missing this, and I saw you in the press conference. Where are we? Guyo Ali Wario, ODM. I said that already. Kiruria Elijah Njoroge, independent. You are independent. Why are you independent? Useless. Okay, who else? Odhiambo Elisha Ochieng, ODM. Hey, and you're making press conference. Wamuchomba Gadhoni, UDA. Osogo Bensuda Joyce Atieno, ODM. Karitha Kiili Daniel, JP. Mwirigi John Paul. Tubi Bidu Mohammed, JP. Badibadi Twalib. Wamusukuru James Githui Kamau, UDA. Kalasinga Joseph Simiyu Wekesa, Ford Kenya. Majimbo, or Majimbo Party, whatever. Titus Lote, KUP. Kimilu Joshua Kivinda, WDM. I think that's Wiper Democratic Party. Useless. Nguro Onesimus Ngogoyo, UDA. Sakimba Parashina Samuel, ODM. Risa Sunkuya George, UDA. Njuguna Chege, UDA. Makali John Okwesa, Ford Kenya. Chumel Samuel Moroto, UDA. Karauri Ronald Kimwiko, Independent. Kipko H. Gideon Kimayo, UDA. Kemei Beatrice Chemngeno, UDA. Wangaya Christopher Eseka, ODM. Shame on you. Waithaka John Machua, UDA. Mbalu Jessica Nduku Kiko, WDM. Wanaina Anthony Njoroge, UDA. Nyoro Samson Ndindi. Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi. Africa is our business. Business is Africa. And when it comes to actually the actual business, you don't show up. Shame on you. Bure kabisa. Let me just shut up. Hey. Sunkuli Julius Lekaleny Ole Kanu. Kiti Richard Ken Chonga, ODM. Zambia Theodius Kitua, Wiper. Mutua Didmas Wekesa Baraza. Didmas Baraza. When it comes to shooting people to death, you're quick. But showing up in the Neo, you are not showing up. Muhia Wanjiku, UDA. Benzimba Rashid Juma. Aburidonya Doris, WDM. Busia Ruth Adhiambo Odinga. Where is it at? Hey, I don't even where I'm. Yeah, ODM. That is ODM. Busia Ruth Adhiambo Odinga, ODM. Let me go quickly so we can finish this. Ahmed Shakil Ahmed Shabir, Independent. Mulu Bakali Benson, I think it's Wiper. Mboni David Mwaleka, Wiper. Nyamai Rachel Kaki, JP. Gasairo Clive Ombane, ODM. Yegon Brighton Leonard, UDA. Kiprono Mutai Alfred, UDA. Robbie Matthias Nyamabe, UDA. Mohammed Abdikadir Hussein, ODM. Korere Sarah Paulata, JP. Lekuton Joseph, UDM. Marubu Monica Mudhoni, Independent. Kode Felix Oduor, Jalas, ODM. Shame on you. Chege John Kiragu, UDA. Nabi Nabwera Daraja, ODM. Mukwana Titus Kamala, ODM. Mbiuki Jafeth Muriti Karetke, UDA. I'm halfway done. I'm almost done. Okay? Another useless one. Kembe Harrison, ODM. Omwera George Aladwa, ODM. Mumo Rose Maseu, Wiper. Mnyazi Amina Laura, ODM. Abdullahi Bashir Sheikh, UDM. Sheikh Amul Ker Kasim, UDM. Mwalio Joshua Mbidi Mutua, Independent. Olwatch Anthony Tom, ODM. Zioka Erastus Kivasu, Wiper. Jaldesa Guyo Wako, whatever, Uipia. Balda Salim Faisal, UDA. Chesebe Fred Kapondi, UDA. Gachohi Kaguchie John Philip, UDA. Salasia Peter Kalemwe, DAPK. Salasia, another one. Naika Johnson Manya, ODM. Musao Vincent Musioka, UDA. Sheikh Peter Mbogo, JP. Mulyungi Gideon Mutemi, Wiper. Nzengu Paul Musiemi, Wiper. Pasari Sesta Mudhoni, UDA, ODM, useless kabisa. Most useless politician in the history of humanity. Yes, that's Pasaris. I don't know what you're doing with your life. Kihara J. Mjeru Njeri, UDA. Arama Samuel JP. Mulanya Geoffrey Elesa, Independent. Muge Cynthia Chepkosgei, UDA. Kitur Bernard Kibor, UDA. Aramat Lemarker, UDA. Owino Martin Peters, ODM. Guyo Adewari Yokanu. Abdul Rahim Dawood, Independent. Owor Joshua Adoma, ODM. Janda Zahir, UDA. Manduku Daniel Ogwoka, ODM. Tom Boya Odege, ODM. Wachira Rahamu Kami, UDA. Kiaraho David Juguna, JP. Kosing David Lasiak, whatever, KUP. Mupe Anthony Kenga, PAA. Goko Lilian Achieng, ODM. Paula Buor, ODM. Letipila Dominic Eli, UDA. Lesuda Josephine Nesula Kanu. Lochapong Peter, UDA. Maina Mwago Amos, JP. Odhiambo Mili Grace Akoth, ODM. Bare Hussein Abdi, UDA. Bwire John Okano, Wiper. Oku Edward Kaunya, ODM. Mwangi Geoffrey Wandeto, UDA. Kasit William Kamket, Kanu. Aburi Loret Mpuru, Nopeu. Sitieni Janet Chepkemboi, UDA. Amate Joseph Namwar, UDA. Nabuin Paul Okwom, ODM. Nanok Daniel Epuya, UDA. Boss Gladys Jepkosei, UDA. Nyamita Makogola, ODM. Sane Ibrahim Abdi, UDA. Farah Yosef Mohamed, ODM. Wanyonyi Martin Papela, Ford Kenya. Sitati Daniel Wanyama, UDA. Magaka Stephen M, JP. Kasiwai Rael Chepkemoi, KUP. Wetangula Timothy Wanyonyi, ODM. Shame on you. Dena Joseph Hamisi, ANC. Mayaka Irene Nyakarario, ODM. Mohamed Amukera Harun, whatever, ODM. Mwangi Teresa Wanjiru, UDA. Oscar Engineer. Ukarabati, you missed it. Yusuf Adan Haji, UDM. I read you the list of all these MPs, legislators who missed the vote for the affordable housing. Some of them, if not not three quarters, but a quarter, if not half of them are ODM. The one that you saw in the press conference, and they did not show up to vote. Hey, I'm telling you. We need to recall them, all of them. Hakuna hata mtu anafaa kubaki hapo, all of them. They need to be recalled. All of them, not even one. All of them, not 1, 2, 3. All of them, those who missed it, all of them should be recalled. All of them. And I will show you how. We are going to start we are going to start on the 45th section of the Election Act that these MPs are hiding under. Okay? Because, they know you cannot recall them immediately. They put some clause there that is hiding for them not to be found. Okay? So you cannot just remove them immediately. These people are very clever. We are going to make them work. They don't want to work for us. Let me show you how we are going to make them work for us. Yeah? I'll tell you. We shall start by recalling them. Like the video if you haven't liked it. Like it immediately. Like it. Like it, share. Na kama uja subscribe immediately. Twende kazi sasa. So these people have named all of the absent members of legislative body, okay? Then I started by asking, why is it that every time there's a controversial bill, especially one that majority of Kenyans reject, don't want, it usually comes down when it comes to voting, majority of these legislative members of parliament, members of the legislative body, always conveniently don't show up. I'll tell you why today. But before we go on, please like the video, share, like, and comment. And not only that, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. But let me go to why they are going to do that. Before we go to that, let's look at this Election Act, okay? Section 45, Right to recall, okay? Right to what? Right to recall. This is the people, how we should remove them. Now, let me put it on the screen. I want you to educate yourself because we need to change this law so we can remove these people. The reason why I want to show you this law is because it is hard. They make it hard for us to remove them. Conveniently, they make it hard for us to remove it. This is what I want to tell you today. You know, the affordable housing, the finance bill, these are bills that were actually written by the IMF. They were brought to Ruto's desk and Ruto is told to pass it. Okay? They tell Ruto this needs to be passed. And after they tell Ruto, they usually approach the top organs of the National Assembly. Okay? Both Azimio and both Kenya Kwanza. So they will meet somebody like Nani Wandai, okay, and Ichungwa. So remember, these guys have to maintain the polarity between the two party factions, okay? You know, it is easy to rule us if we are divided. Majority of Kenyan citizens, whether you are Kenya Kwanza or you are Azimio, they do not want these bills. They do not want it. We can all agree as Kenyans, we don't want this high taxation. We don't want this finance bill. We don't want this affordable housing. But in order to keep us divided, because that's the only way they can rule us, we can only express our sovereign authority if we, the people, come together and exercise our power. See, the Constitution, we can only be sovereign if we are together as a people, speak with one voice. But if we are divided, we cannot exercise our sovereign power because we are divided. So, these parliamentarians know that, okay? So, wanafanya ukarabati, and I'll show you how they do that ukarabati. So, the IMF sits down with Ruto and the top heads of the legislator, people like Rectangular, very useless indeed, who is known to have been smuggling gold from Congo to the Middle East through Kenya with Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. You had the phone calls. You remember that? The leaked phone calls. But anyway, this is how they do it. This ODM, Vinyangarika wa ODM ambao were pretending to make the press conference. The Babu Owino and the Suna MP and Otiende Amolo and the rest. These people have already made the deal with Ruto and the Kenya Kwanza side. In order to save face, because they want to create an illusion to the public. You know, they're playing to the public. They want to create the illusion that they were rejecting this affordable housing bill that they know is very, very, very unpopular among Kenyans. But this thing is being passed in order, when it's passed, it's going to benefit who? The foreign investors, the foreign companies who have been handpicked by the World Bank and the IMF. This is how they do it. I showed you in that book, okay? I want to go back to this book. I keep on referring to it, but that's how they do. That's how they gradually take the sovereign power from you. But they can't take the sovereign power from you without your consent. So, again, I pose the question, and I want you to answer it wherever you are. Why is it a coincidence that every time there's a controversial bill to be passed at the legislative body, the members of parliaments, the members of the legislative body, especially from the opposition, they conveniently absent themselves. They usually are absent. They are usually absent. You know, most Kenyans, whether you're Azimio, whether you're Kenya Kwanza, we don't want affordable housing. We don't want it. The finance bill, we don't want it. And they know that we don't want it. But they have to play games, okay? They have to play games. Ruto has to play like he's for it and it's going to benefit for us. And we already know it's not going to benefit us. But in order to pass it, the opposition has to play their part. And how does the opposition play their part? They play their part by absconding from their duties, abdicating their position, their responsibilities, by not showing up during that vital voting. I'll take Babu Owino for example, because I have so much hopes for this young man, but he's letting me down at every juncture. Babu Owino was one of the people who are in that press conference who are actually mentioning how bad, how wrong this Nino is. How bad this thing. Jalas, at least Jalas had the Nino not to show up. Okay? He was making the press conference there. But when it was time to vote, he was not present. He was not present. That's why I usually tell you, I would rather go with Sifuna than Babu Owino, because Sifuna, he says he rejects it and he will show up and vote against it. Man of his words. I don't like his heckling nature, but he says he does what he says he wants to do. Okay? Kahawa break. So Babu Owino, I'm picking on you today because you've let me down. If you would have gone and voted no for that housing bill, then went to the press conference and tell us why you voted no, I would have had some level of respect for you. But no, you absconded. You did not show up. But then unakuona hapo na suti yako umekaa hapo ati sijui you know this bill sijui. I'll play the clip. But anyway, I want to paint a bigger picture so you understand how we are being ruled indirectly by our colonial masters through these colonial stooges that sit at the legislative body and the executive. And they're trying to also rule over the judiciary. I had Martha Koome yesterday read a press release. Even the other justices who were standing behind her were embarrassed. The woman can hardly read. It was an embarrassment. This is what I'm trying to tell you. And I want you to think, you know, this channel, we don't just sit there and listen and gobble up the news. I want you to have critical thinking. Think critically. Why is it the housing, not the housing levy, the finance bill, when it was being passed, remember, people were against the finance bill in its entirety. Okay? But when it was time for voting for it, the opposition conveniently didn't show up. Most of them were absent. At least that time they didn't call a press conference. They didn't show up. Hawakufu. Even Babu Owino didn't show up that day. The same Babu Owino. I'm very disappointed in Babu Owino. Okay? They never showed up. Even Sifuna tweeted that day. I made a video about that. Okay? But this is what I'm telling you. These people don't show up just because they had some other engagement. The most important engagement in that day of voting on a bill, that is your primary responsibility. If there's anything on your calendar that day, if you had a doctor's appointment, if you had anything, whatever emergency you have, you should drop it, because your primary responsibility as member of parliament, as somebody member of the legislative body, when it comes to passing an important bill like that, you should drop everything on your calendar and show up at the legislative body and vote nay or yay on the issue. That is your primary, because that is what we vote. We voted for you to go up there to do that. So, like I was saying, both the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza are compromised. These are colonial puppets. And this is being told, they are being told by their colonial masters through their chaperones. Ruto, Raila Odinga calls a meeting and tell them, listen, this is what we are going to do. In order for ODM and Azimio to save face and pretend that they're against this bill, they abscond from voting. They don't show up and then give press conferences and say, oh, we're against the bill, we're against the bill, in order to maintain maintain the polarity between the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza, because as Azimio followers, we shall sit here and say, yes, we are the opposition. Nani was Babu Owino made a press conference and said he's against this. Alienda ulimwona kwa press conference akasema ati Ruto is leading this country into the ditch and he's against it. Ulimwona kwa TV akiambia Ruto, Suna MP, Junet Mohammed, that thief. Okay, you see them. We are against Ruto. This bill is draconian. Sijui nini. Okay, because they want to maintain their supporters. So their supporters, the unsuspected supporters, can think that they're actually against this bill. But really, in reality, they want this bill to be passed because their colonial masters has told them to pass that bill. But they want to maintain this. Because listen to me, it is a numbers game at the legislative body. So if you fail to show up, those who show up and voted, their vote will count. If you don't vote, your vote does not count. There's nothing to count, okay? So those who will go there, even if it's 2 people who show up and vote yes, and they win by yes, it will pass. So failure for you to vote is worse than even voting yes. Failure. You know, the UDA members who voted for this bill, at least you can give them a pass and say that, you know what? Even though they voted against the majority of the people's will, they did their fundamental primary rudiments of their duty, which was what? Legislate on an issue, a bill. So even if they didn't vote according to the will of their constituency, at least they showed up and voted. The basic primary thing you can do is to vote for or against, yay or nay, yes or no. Failure to show up is unforgivable, is an abomination. It is as if you're spitting on those who send you at the legislative body. Babu Owino, I'll single you out today because you should know better. When you unasimama hapo ukisema tialala saa yote. I saw you at the press conference. I thought you had voted already and you voted no. ODM. I read you the list of the ODM members. To me, if you had gone and voted no, okay, and then call a press conference and said, you know what, I voted no because this thing is A, B, C, D. At least, even if you voted yes, Babu Owino, even if you went and voted yes and said, yeah, I voted for this bill, you know, yes, we can be mad at you and say, hey, why are you voting against the will of the people? But at least you've done the primary fundamental duty that the people donated that power for you to do it. That's why you are enjoying those sitting allowances. That's why you're enjoying those ninio. That's high salaries. That's why you have that name Weshimiwa. But if you can't take away of your primary responsibility, you deserve to be recalled immediately. I want us to go and look at that law that actually tells us how to recall these useless individuals at the legislative body. This is unforgivable. Most people don't want this affordable housing. Affordable housing is not helping them. Otiende Amolo waxed lyrical on the floor, explaining to us what is problematic about this affordable housing bill. There's nothing affordable about it. And that's the list of it. There's so much more that's wrong with this bill. You can go to his Twitter page and follow his argument. At least the man from Rarienda voted. Okay? I will respect you more even if you voted yes. Afadhali umepiga dinio. But failure to show up and to top it off Unaita press conference, umesimama hapo na koti yako, lecturing us. You have no moral authority to tell Ruto anything. You have none. Babu Owino and you ODM idiots. You have no moral authority to tell Ruto anything after you absconded. Failed to show up to vote against the bill. At least you could have voted no. Even if you can vote for it, yes. And say I was drunk like Sonko told us. Nilikunywa nikaenda, nilikuwa nimekunywa pombe nikalewa, lakini nikavote hivi. Ndio maana nilivote hivi. But failure to show up. Then you call a press conference and try to tell us. Sijui nini. Wewe Babu Owino wewe. Mbadi, you're taking us for a fools. Munatuchezea nyinyi. Let's go to this. I'm telling you, Azimio nyinyi. And then you're these very people who are going to stand there and say, sijui, I oppose union, and then you're talking about 2027. The reason why I'm so hard on you, because Kenyans were looking at you as the opposition. Opposition, you're supposed to be holding the ruling party government, including the executive, checks and balances. But when you are given the power, you donated this sovereign power of the people of East Embakasi East. Unaenda hapo, in fact uenda hapo, you don't show up. Alafu unaita press conference unatuambia ati sijui nini. Wewe. Let us look at the laws. Esther Paras is useless. Is useless. The most useless politician in the history of humanity is Esther Muthoni Passaris. Passaris commits suicide. Mungu tulete Kiptum back and take Passaris. Tafadhali. These are the people that you'll see them in weekend funerals talking about how Ruto is oppressing that. But when it comes time to actually show up, when it counts to do their job, to stop Ruto, they fail. But utaona kwa press conference na koti yao. I want to play that video. But let's look at this law that we should demand it's changed so we can recall these pinheads. Enough of this. Hakuna mchezo. Enough of these games. Kenyans are suffering because of you. Yes, it's because of you. Yes, Mbadi, it is because of you, not Ruto. You, Babu Owino, you. Kenyans are suffering because of you. Esther Passaris, you. They counted on you to do something at the legislative body, but you will hear them on Citizen TV. Farah Marim, whatever his name is. That dumb fuck. Shifter Somali. You'll see them on Citizen TV in the morning. You know, Ruto, his policies are bringing this country down. The parliament is not working anymore. You'll hear Tiende Amolo. The parliament is not working anymore. It has been captured by the executive. But when it's time to vote, you don't show up. But kwa press conference ndio yeye umesimama, tuongee hapa sijui nini. You are the people who are letting Kenya down. You are the people who are letting Kenya down. You and the Kenyan people should hang you to death. Guillotine, all of you. All of you. ODM, UDA, Wiper, yote, Kalonzo, Musalia, yote, mukufe. You need to be hanged. It happened in France. The French Revolution. Go read about it. It wasn't about bread. That is what needs to be done. Because you are playing a game. Unatuambia sisi munaanza let me take you back now. Let me talk to you ODM people. Wacha nizungumze kidogo. You might be wondering, are you UDA? Why are you Kenya Kwanza? Why are you picking on us ODM? I'll tell you why I'm picking on you today, ODM. Let me tell you why. Because you are the opposition. we expect you to do the list. If the ODM MPs, all of them, showed up and voted no, and the bill still passed, I would come here and say, you know what? Azimio voted no, but at least walijaribu kwa ninio and the legislative body. They did something. They did their part. They did their part. And that can give you the right to go to the press conference and say, hey, you know what? Ruto, through his party, majority party and the legislative body, alipitisha hiyo kitu. But we tried our best and we voted no. I will respect that. I will respect it. I'll say, hey, yeah, you have a point. You know, you tried your best. You did your part. But you'll see Otiende Amolo, this man from Rarienda, you'll see him on KTN in the morning. You know, executive, I've already captured the legislative body. There's nothing we can do. Rarienda, at least you voted. But why can't you look at your MPs? Where were they when it's time to... Wanda, you're the minority leader. Useless. Wanda is another useless person. Esther Pasari is the most useless one. Then Wanda is a second one. Very close to Pasari. Useless. Total rubbish. He can't finish a statement without evoking Raila's name. You should hurry up and become Raila's wife. Even Ida doesn't call Raila's name as much. Wanda, you are useless. One day you are useless. One day you are useless. One day I've never seen somebody useless as one day. One day you are useless. One day you should be corralling, whipping the legislative body, the MPs and senators of ODM, Azimio, Wiper, all those useless people, and your affiliates. Corral them. Call Babu Owino the night before. Show up to the parliament at 8 a.m., whatever the time you guys meet. Tell them, we are going to vote no against this bill. Na tuone majina hapo tuone nyote mmevote no. But one day, where were you? One day. You'll hear him tomorrow. The NADCO report should be... When it comes to NADCO, something that will benefit you, umefurisha yo tumbo yako. The NADCO report should be passed because, you know, we are not going to talk about the IBC, the reconstitution of IBC until this NADCO report is... Because you think you are there. One day, where? One day you should be hanged to death. One day, very useless. One day you need to be hanged. This is why I say the Azimio folks are pretenders. They're secretly supporting Ruto indirectly, but in the public, they are pretending to be with the people. They're pretending to be the opposition. All of them. Otiende Amolo, Wandai, Babu Owino, Nyote. You're supporting Ruto, but you're pretending. Because when it's time, when it counts, when it's time for you to do what you're supposed to do, you don't show up, you don't vote. So the bill passes because of your failure to vote against it. Your failure to show up. Okay? You're supporting Ruto indirectly, but you're lying to the public and your supporters. But you come to the press conference behaving as if you're against Ruto, but you are for Ruto. In fact, all the Azimio people are supporting Ruto for 2027. I know it. You are supporting them. You're just pretending. That is the deal that you made with Raila Odinga. When Raila Odinga was given that AU chairmanship, you guys will support him. Now you'll field someone as useless as Kalonzo Musyoka. Kalonzo Musyoka cannot even become a chief in Masaku. You think he's going to beat Ruto? Azimio are supporting William Samoei Ruto. And every bill that William Ruto passes, Azimio are supporting it. That's why they don't show up. That is the truth. And prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Munajifanya, you are in one club, you are pretenders. That's why you keep on saying that the legislative body is not functional, has been captured. Captured what? You have the power to summon the CSS if you're messing up. If Marco Man is messing up, bring the CAS, ask him question, and you can actually have him do that under oath. Na shikwe. But you don't do this because you're in cahoots with Ruto, but you're playing the gallery. Mnajifanya tu mnasikizana on camera, you think you're pretending to be against each other. Ati sisi ni Azimio, nyinyi ni Kenya Kwanza. You're supporting Ruto. Babu Owino is supporting Ruto for 2027. Otiende Amolo is supporting Ruto for 2027. They're pretenders. They just pretend when wakienda huko Dala huko sijui huko Kisumu, huko nyumbani huko Mrarienda, he'll pretend Ruto sijui nini, and they are pretending to fight Owalo and PS Omolo. But you're supporting Ruto in secret. That's why you see Orengo. Remember Orengo was flying with Ruto when Ruto went to India, sijui wapi. Orengo was there with Ruto in India. What was he doing there? These people are one. Kenyans, tufungueni macho. They're dividing us so they can maintain control over us. Let us come together so we can exercise the sovereign authority and remove all of them. UDA, ODM, BBC, ABC, KTN, Citizen. We can vote them all out. If that's the civil way to do it. That is the first step. You see why Dani alipata accident? What's his name? Okiom Tata. Is to silence him. This time, this affordable housing, utaona, no one will go to the court. Nobody. Look, you had Azimio Mbadi that pretender. Na yo macho yake nimekaa kama mbidi. Mbadi is pretending that we shall go to the courts, and then if the courts fail, we shall go to what Mandamano? Who will go with Mandamano with you? Raila is not going to Mandamano anymore. Raila's Poita Mandamano, where's the Mandamano? Even Raila himself tried 5 Mandamanos. Where did he take him? Gave him the AU job. You think Raila will sanction that Mandamano? Ashapewa kiti anaenda AU. Okay? Mbadi, you think you can summon people to go to the Ninio because of this affordable housing? Mbadi, wewe. Hata wewe Babu Owino, you think you can summon people? You can get 2-3 people in Embakasi. Munatuchezea nyinyi. I am mentioning you, Azimio, because we are expecting you to be the opposition, to be checking the party, the ruling party, from actually railroading itself to having absolute power. To stop Ruto from passing every bill that he wants to pass that is not helpful to Kenyans. But what do you people do? On camera, you're pretending. That's why I'm using the example of Babu Owino. Ulimwona kwa koti hapo anatoa anasema ati sijui this bill, sijui nini. But he didn't vote. He didn't even show up. And failure to show up, they're just going to count the people who voted. And the people who voted, the majority of them was yes. Because the people who were supposed to vote no did not show up. 149 of them. But in public utajiona na koti hapo, this sijui Ruto has taken sijui nini, Ruto is a Western puppet, Babu Owino. Lead by your action, sio mdomo. That's why I'm saying Azimio have officially endorsed William Samoei Ruto for 2027. Musijifanye. Raila ndio huyo ameenda AU. Ataipata. I told you he'll get it. Raila is a CIA asset. He has been chosen by the US. Ataenda. But the pretense has to be revealed today. Kenyans need to know that there's nothing like opposition. Hakuna kitu kama hicho. And they actually want to make it official. That's why you see them passing this NADCO thing. They want to pass this unconstitutional NADCO report. Because they want to make it official that there should be no opposition. Kiti gani? Why do you need a kiti to be official opposition? For what? Why should we pay you to be opposition? You're already getting paid as an MP. Na hizo na sitting allowance na hizo ujinga zote. Why should you have that ninio? Why should we go to referendum so one day can have an office? Why? Well, he cannot even show up to vote. Why should we give you that extra money and you don't even want to show up when it comes to vote? And you'll see them next week talking about NADCO report. Paul Egudia. I don't know why sijui nini imefanyika. I'm almost wrapping up. I have about 10 minutes, but thank you very much. Gudia. We need to stop these games. The game is over. For those people with a revolutionary mind, let me announce to you, there is no opposition. The Azimio are pretenders. They are just as bad, if not worse, than Kenya Kwanza. They are pretending to be opposing Kenya Kwanza, but they are very, very, very in the same goromoja. They are the same people. They are just trying to fool the majority of the wananchi because they know if we come together and rise against these clowns in the legislative body, these clowns on the executive body, we can exercise our power directly and remove them, and there's nothing they can do. Even a military coup d'etat is legal. Military represent the people. Ogola, military coup d'etat. Military is part of the people. So if the military decide to remove Ruto, that is the people exercising their democratic, the constitutional right. Because there's nothing we can do. The Azimio are in bed with Kenya Kwanza secretly, but they want to publicly fool us that they're different. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, and comrades, if you haven't liked this video, like it right now. Share, subscribe. I'm done. Let me show you this law so you can know what I'm talking about. Go to electoral go to electoral act. Google it. You can find it. Goody is telling me from the word go, I said all these are playing the public. Then I was thrown from the channel. What channel? Goody, what channel did you? Is it whatever candidate, whatever the case they call it? Let me tell you something about these channels that you're talking about. Let me tell you a secret. For those of you who are watching those channels, they're entertaining because you hear people different. Actually, there's no different views. Those channels, let me tell you something about those channels. They're propaganda machines, and they are being run by the members. They are being run by the members of these political parties, whether it's UDA or Kenya Kwanza. Sorry, whether it's Kenya Kwanza or Azimio. They are propaganda machines. That's why you see when you go to a certain channel, they want to maintain a certain narrative. You hear them when it comes to the Baba going to AU. They will say they will skirt around the bush. They will go around the bush. Oh, you know, Baba hasn't betrayed us. Baba has been with us since 1925. Baba, you know, Baba can go and just take that new and to feed his family. Baba has been feeding his family since Raila could have been home, jobless all his life. The money that Oginga Odinga made in his political career and his businesses, various businesses, is enough to sustain Raila till he dies. He doesn't need to feed his family. He doesn't need that chair. Okay? Raila is a billionaire, dollar billionaire. Okay? But what I'm trying to say is this: these channels that you see, these talk channels that you stream channels, okay, they're propaganda machine. Everyone there that goes to those programs, any contributor, number one, you cannot say anything negative. You cannot question Raila Odinga's position. You cannot question anything about Raila Odinga. They will scat around. Even if Raila kills somebody on camera, they say, no. You know, that's not Baba's fault. That person was making Baba mad. He deserves to die. No. Baba is always Baba. It's a propaganda machine. They don't want to face, and that's why I'm telling you, we cannot have a real solution to the Kenyan problem because people are chained psychologically. They're imbeciles. Okay? Stockholm syndrome. The person who has captured you, right? Exactly. The person who's oppressing you is the person who you are praising and you think is the liberator. I've been saying this. Raila Odinga's main job, position in the politics of Kenya, is to suppress any grassroots revolutionary movement. And I gave you the example in 2017 when Miguna was growing powerful. In fact, Miguna was he was the power, the force that was going to take out Uhuru Kenyatta. So Raila had to show his face. So Raila turned back, pretended to be supporting what Miguna was doing, then went ahead and met Uhuru, and they came up with the plan to forcefully exile Miguna to Canada and denied him entry to Kenya for 5 years. It was done to take out the real force behind the revolution that was going to happen. So after that, Raila maintained support of the opposition. Of course, he lost most of the people. That's why he lost in 2022, because people saw him for what he is, a con man. Raila is a CIA agent, has been working for the CIA for a long time, and people don't know it. Uhuru Kenyatta and his father worked for the MI6, the British government. Kenyatta never did a day in Kapenguria, sijui wapi, in England. He was a mbotch at Buckingham Palace. Let's not be fooled. The real revolutionaries in Kenya were killed. Tom Mboya, Pinto Gama, okay? What's the other, Nani? Is it Macharia or whatever his name? What's his name? The one that talked about the land that Nani was grabbing. The great Kikuyu man that was killed in Ngong Forest. Something karaoke. I forgot his name. That's why I'm telling you, these other shows, they don't want to look at things critically as it is. Yeah? No, yeah, Robert Ouko too, but before Robert Ouko, there was a guy who's something karaoke. He was back then, he was from Ninio. He was warning Kenyattas about the land that they were grabbing, and he ended up dead. It was the times of Ouko Tom Mboya. I forgot his name. Robert Ouko was killed in the 90s. The guy I'm talking about was killed in 1960s, I believe, or 70s. Under Nani's direction, Kenyatta. So what I'm trying to say is this. Most of these channels are not channels where you can find solutions. People are not talking about solutions. It's about mourning and groaning about William Ruto and the things that Ruto is doing. But if you start looking at the solution, if you start asking for solutions, real solutions, and actually prod how we got here. Because we have to look at, if there's a problem with the executive, if the executive is the problem, is pushing through policies that are not favorable to the Wananchi, we can ask ourselves, where is the other arms of government doing to actually stop the executive? It's the legislative body. Okay? And now if you look at the legislative body, these guys have been bought. Not the Kenya Kwanza side, everyone, Azimio and Ninio, but they're pretending to be for the Wananchi. That's why you see them, they're quick to unaona wamekimbia kwa press conference. Sijui nini. But when it comes to the primary responsibility of voting against these bills that Ruto is pushing, they don't show up. But you'll see them tomorrow at KTN morning show, sijui nini morning show, and the funerals, talking about how Ruto is destroying the country. It's a game. It's a con game. And you go to these channels, they actually run this channel and finance these channels. That's why ukienda kwa hizo machannel unasikia mtu anasema baba, but they never ask. There's no critical thinking. Somebody who has lost election 5 times, what makes you think he's going to win the 6th time in 2027? If you come and tell me that Raila is going to win 2027 in Euro, critical thinking. Ask yourself. I'm glad in the same channel you're talking about, there's somebody who was trying to get to, they wanted to start a petition, to hold their MPs responsible, which is good. It's a good step. I like the idea. But before you put that petition, okay, understand what the law says. These people, you cannot recall them 24 months after they're elected and 24 months before the next election, which gives you 1 year period where you can do that. Section 45 of the Election Act. Understand it. To me, that is the first law that we should get rid of. So we can remove these people any time. Let's hold responsible. The first step to removing Ruto is to first deal with the legislative body, the body that actually can check him, the body that actually can make laws, can stop him. That is the body that you can deal with. Let's not start with the UDA side or Kenya Kwanza side. Let's start with the ODM side, the Azimio side, since they are the so-called what is it called? Opposition. Let's hold our own. How come Babu Owino is giving a press conference and never showed up to vote? How come? That's the question you should be asking. Why is he telling us that, oh, sijui bill ni mbaya, then you don't vote? At least vote. Even if you lose, you can tell us, hey, I voted this, I did my part. So this is what I'm saying. You start by holding these members of parliament who are people who are of our constituency, hold them responsible, recall them, know that they know, so they can be reminded who the boss is. They're not our bosses. We are their bosses. Okay, we give them, we donated that power to them. Okay, we start there. So before writing that petition, understand that law is what we need to get rid of. So we can recall these people whenever we feel they're not doing what they're doing. To me, by them, all those MPs I started by naming their names, all 149 of them, they all should be recalled immediately. All of them. All of them. Not only all of them. Because they failed to actually do the primary responsibility that we give them, to go up there and represent our interests. They failed that. So I don't waste my time going to other channels because there's no solution. What unaenda hapo tu, it's like a catharsis. Unaenda hapo tu kuvent. Oh, what did Ruto do today? Ruto ameiba 40 billion. 10 billion. Billion. We are going to sing this song till 2027. And he will win in 2027 already. Wame make deal na Azimio. Azimio is a fake opposition. There's no opposition in Kenya. Let me tell you that right now. Hata watu Babu Owino naona wanapiga makelele hapa and sijui Sifuna. They are fake. All of them wamenunuliwa. Any real opposition will leave Kenya Kwanza and Azimio. Any real opposition that will bring one to real change. Okiom Tata was working by himself. That's why they're trying to kill him through that accident. Usifikiri ile accident ilikuwa ajali, ile ilikuwa si ajali. That was attempted murder. That's why they want to kill Okiom Tata. And Okiom Tata does not belong in Kenya Kwanza or Azimio. He's independent. And he will take an independent person to take out this government. Because the Azimio and Kenya Kwanza are both one. Their job is to divide the populace so that they can rule over them. Because we can only exercise our sovereign authority if you are one as a people. That's why the first thing in the constitution is what? The sovereigns of this nation is what? Is the people. And in order for us to be a people, we have to be one. The majority of us, we have to be a majority of us. Okay? That's why we live in a what? Constitutional democracy. Democracy is ruled by the majority. You have to be a majority. And that is why they fear. They have to divide us, because if we are majority, if these people, followers of, if people of Rift Valley and Mount Kenya and Nyanza and Eastern and Coast come together and say, you know what, we are tired of our politicians, let's go remove them. We shall constitute a what? The people, because we are now the majority and we're a constitutional democracy. So we can legally take them out because we are the majority, we are the people. And if we are the people and we constitute the people, we are the majority, we have the sovereign power. Ruto cannot tell us anything. Babu Owino cannot tell us anything. Raila cannot tell us anything. Uhuru cannot tell us anything, because we'll be sovereign, exercising our sovereign authority. And we can remove them. But they want to run these games on you. That's why you see they are still the same. They don't vote when it comes to time to vote, but they'll come to the press conference to maintain that support for the opposition, for you guys to see that, oh, wale wajaluo hawakupiga ninio kura, wale wakalenjin hawakupiga kura, wale wakikuyu hawakupiga kura. They're doing that because they have to divide you. Because if you unite, then you become the sovereign. And when you're the sovereign, you can actually take the power back from them. And they will not play games. Understand that. Until you understand that, you'll be a slave to these IMF slaves like William Ruto, Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, who have killed people for years. And this clown running around like Babu Owino and Sijui Sifuna and Oscar Sudi and Murkomen. And they're spitting on your face by walking around with Louis Vuitton shoes costing $3,000 while people are wallowing in poverty. There's a child in Samburu dying of poverty. There's a child dying of poverty today because it doesn't have even clean water to drink, food to eat. Murkomen is walking around with a shirt worth 500,000 Kenyan shillings. The coffers, the Eurobond that they just took, they're going to spend it on their lavish lifestyle, building mansions. Go look at Kibera, see how people are living. A wild goat in the US lives better than those people in Kibera. A wild goat lives better, in better condition than those people in Kibera. But where is Sakaja? Where is Sakaja? He's in South Africa where he's enjoying his party. Mnachezwa. But nyinyi mtasimama hapo mtasema Babu. Even if Babu Owino becomes the governor, there will be no change. Even if Raila Odinga is the president tomorrow, there will be no change. It's the same thing. What is the change between Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto? Zilch, zero. If anything, it's worse. Why? Because they know you're not paying attention. You don't know who really holds the power. So they rule over you. Uhuru Kenyatta built a private runaway. He doesn't have to land in JKIA. He lands in his backyard. Anatoka na ndege hapa anaenda London straight away. Straight. Hata pitishi custom, he doesn't go straight away to London. Wewe hapo SGR you cannot even afford. SGR imeongezwa bei hata watu waende SGR. Lakini utaenda kulamba matako hapo. Uhuru Kenyatta, the head of Mount Kenya, sijui nene. Na sisi tukikuja hapa kwa hizi machale tuambie fungueni macho, muna to block. You don't like the truth. Mnasema huyo jamaa mtoeni hapo, let's block him. Huyo jamaa, huyo sijui anti-Raila, anti-Uhuru, anti-nini. Until the day you will open your eyes and face the truth. Acha kuangalia hao watu ati they are tribal leaders. Unasikia watu wakisema ati sijui if Raila wins the AU position, Kenyan wins. Raila is an institution. By all evidence, the guy did not even finish class 6. Lakini hamtaki kusikia, mkiambiwa hamtaki kusikia. Then you go blame Ruto. Ruto is not the problem. Ruto is the symptom. Ruto is not the problem. Na mkiambiwa hamtaki kusikia. Hati mnasema ule mtu sijui ni cheesy au jamaa block him. Okiamtata, when Okiamtata was taking those cases in court, mlikuwa mnasema Okiamtata ni cheesy. Why do you think they want to kill Okiamtata? Because he's the only one who's standing up and taking those unconstitutional bills that Ruto is trying to pass to the courts. And the courts have no choice, because wakiangalia law wanasema Okiamtata is right. They have no choice. Ndio maana unaona Ruto anaenda kutana na Koome. Koome is not even educated. Uliona hiyo press conference yake? She can hardly spell a word. The people for So you're blaming Ruto, and Ruto is the symptom of the problem. Unaona? The people who are standing up for the people, for the wananchi, you ridicule them. Then the assholes who are actually oppressing you, munawasifu. Baba Agwambo kwatu, Agwambo Teringenye, Agwambo sijui nini, Agwambo nini. What has Agwambo done for you? He told you to go to maandamano in 2017. Mukauliwa kama kuku. You went to maandamano in 2022. hapa juzi mukachinjwa kama kuku. Did he pay even one family? Akawambia tutatoa Ruto kwa nguvu. Today he went and met Suluhu and Raila Dani sijui kwa Mombasa. Amepewa kazi hapo AU. Wewe umekufa. Your family members died on the street. Bado unasema Agwambo Terengenye, Agwambo kienda huko sisi pia. If we tell you to open your eyes, unatuona kaa sisi ni machizi. Alafu utarudi hapa in this channel hizi za ninio, hizi channel zingine za upuzi. Mnaenda hapo mnaanza kuongea the whole day about Ruto. Ruto has sijui nini. Ruto sijui have nini. Ruto should go. Ruto sijui the military should take over. Ruto sijui ni hakuna kitu. Baba knows how to take out Ruto. Baba can come back to 27. Kalonzo sijui nini. Useless nonsense. Mnaribu wakati. You're better off masturbating for 5 hours than wasting your time on these channels that has no solution. You think Ruto even is worried about you? These channels, they're just entertainment. I'll call them names. Bernard, that fake pastor, he doesn't care about your opinion. Anaangalia tu views na subscription na anapata cheki yake ya mwisho. Na anawaambia hey, become a member. Lipa pesa $50 every month. And our pimp. Because he knows you're dumb. You dumb fuck. Na nyinyi mtaenda hapo. Baba. Ruto sijui nini. These are all corrupt leaders. Ruto, Uhuru, Raila. And their minions in Kenya Kwanza and Kenya Ninio. They're fakers. The only person who stood up on some level is Okiya Omtatah. And they're trying to kill him. I won't be surprised by the end of the year Okiya Omtatah if he continues. Lakini nyinyi mnacheza huyu mchezo wa paka na panya. Enough of my rant. It's Friday. Like the video, share, comment, subscribe. Hapa tuambiane ukweli. Hii mambo ya bootlicking these idiots who take you nowhere. They're doing their bidding for their colonial masters, IMF and World Bank. That's why Africa is oppressed. The biggest problem is corruption, tribalism, and the debt that these tribal chieftains have acquired through the years. In the Constitution, Article 226(5), it says anyone who has misappropriated public funds, any government official of the past or present, is responsible to pay for it. So if Uhuru Kenyatta took the Eurobond 1 and spent it on his personal money, as personal kitty, piggy bank, if Ruto, hii Eurobond amechukua ya pili, if he took it and misused it and took it illegally, if he even acquired it legally, they will be personally responsible for that loan, not the taxpayers. This is what we were saying. This is what Okiya Omtatah and Jimmy Wanjigi were saying. Hizi madeni mnaambiwa ati taxes zinaekwa juu ndio mlipe. Mnaambiwa instead of doing this, tuangalie vile hizi madeni zilichukuliwa. Were they legally acquired and how were they used? Let's audit. Then the people ambao walikula pesa, wacha walipe hiyo pesa. Our constitution say that and they should pay it. Lakini nyinyi hamtaki kuangalia debt. Ruto ataenda hapo corruption imezidi, I'll fight corruption. EACC, kesi kienda EACC, there's not enough evidence. There's no evidence, it's been dropped. No enough evidence. Mchezo wa paka na panya. It started huko siku za Moi, inaendelea na Ruto na Kenyatta alifanya the same thing, Moi alifanya the same thing, huyu mzee Emilio alifanya the same thing. Nothing changes. You're doing the same thing and you expect different results. Just like these idiots who think that Raila Odinga is going to run in 2027 and is going to be the president. And he has tried 5 times, he has failed. What makes you think he's going to win the 6th time? Unajua wazimu saa ingine mnafaa kuchapwa. That's why Yesu alienda kwa ile kanisa akaanza kucharaza watu. He started caning people. You are beyond reasoning. Mnafaa kupigwa, mchapwe. So you can start thinking. Mafala wanaenjoy. Wanaita press conference hapo ati sijui Ruto sijui nini, Bill sijui nini. While the power that we gave them to vote them down, hata hawaku show up. Lakini utakuja hapo utasikia mtu ati Babu Owino 2027 governor. Let me tell you something. Babu Owino can be a governor tomorrow for Nairobi. There will be no change. He'll fix 2 roads here, 3 roads here, alafu utaanza kusikia ati sijui pesa inaibiwa. Same thing with the mjinga ako hapo saizi. Sakaja. Si mlimvotia sijui ako na dimples. Endeni mkakule hiyo dimple. Sasa mnapigia. Mimi nawaambia judge somebody by their record and what they do in their action. Akisema I'm against this bill and akivote against your bill, we stand with you. Because you are with your word. Huku isema tu ulienda ukavote. But if you don't show up, alafu unaenda kwa press conference unaambia ati nini, you're bullshitting us. And we don't trust you. Hata kama uko a governor, the next governor, we don't expect anything from you. You're ni ujinga. Open your eyes. I'll stop there. That's why, and then mkajifurahishe kwa hizo machannel zengine. And the problem is this, before I even finished. Most of these people who come to this channel, they are tribalists. Mtu anafikiria tu kabila yake. You'll hear somebody who claims to have a functioning brain at Uhuru was the best president, better than Ruto. Wacha tu niwache hapo. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Enough ranting for Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow or some other day. That's all I wanted to say. And then mkaangalia hiyo section ya Election Act, section 45. Muangalie. Can we change that? For those of you who want to petition, if you want to create something, a petition of removing these parliamentarians, please hit me up. Subscribe, like, share. Share, like this video, okay? We can have a discussion on that. But hizo ma stories zingine za ujinga, I don't want to hear it. Okay? Unless you're ready to go to the jungle, like Castro, okay? Because that's another way. But it's more bloodier and it's all messier and you'll need a lot of more people to do that, okay? But subscribe, share, like, comment, and subscribe. It's been 1 hour, 17 minutes. I didn't even think I would make it this far. But thank you so much for watching. My name is Kenyan Revolutionary. Again, you can follow me on X as K Revolutionary, or you can simply subscribe to this channel, like, share, comment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm Anam Nagan. All right. Thank you so much for watching, Goodyear, and everybody else who's been watching secretly, whatever you are, we're watching it through X or here. I'll see you guys later. Peace and blessings.